When you are identified with your ego, when you are identified with your mind, you're always looking for roles to play. You're always looking for a way to react and a way to express or repress yourself, depending on who you're speaking to, depending on the environment you're in. These all have things to play with, with the way that you respond. Now, a lot of this is built up because it's necessary, but a lot of the time, when you start to connect with your spirit, when you start to connect with something more higher, and you start to realize that we are all one and we are all on the same level, these ego identifications are false and they are just an illusion. So, for example, why is it that when you're in front of your friends and family, you can be expressive, you can laugh, you can act more playful, and you don't put them on a pedestal? But as soon as you're in front of your boss at work, you're dimmed down, you're not as expressive, you're not as playful because you're worried. Your mind is worried about his feedback because maybe he might sack you or he might put you in a position that you don't want to be in. So you're trying to be nice to him and you're putting him up on a pedestal. Same as if you're speaking maybe to a police officer or someone of authority. Most people, more than likely, are going to put that person on a pedestal and they're going to be scared. They don't want to get arrested. Maybe if you're a criminal in nature, you're going to be a bit more quieter and you're not going to want to, be as playful and childish and muck around with the police officer like you would with your friend. Now, why is this? Why can't we just treat everyone on the same level? It's because our mind is always looking for feedback. It is always looking for feedback through an environment, whether you'd be at home, or you'd be out at a bar, or you'd be out at work. Your mind is looking for different feedbacks. So when you're in that environment, when you're around those people, your mind's saying, this is the way we need to react. This is our role now that we need to play. So we step into this identification with a certain actor or a certain character that we need to perform, depending on the environment that we're in and depending on the people that we're surrounding ourselves with. Now, one thing I've learned in my past and in my present moment is that what helped me a lot with gaining new friends and gaining new opportunities at work was not by putting anyone on a pedestal. By knowing and being aware of when I'm in this environment, I have to act a certain way, and my mind wanted to tune into that vibration. So when I was at work, I was more aware of the way I was reacting, and I did not put anyone on a pedestal. I treated my boss, I treated other colleagues on the same level, as equals. Because through meditation and through a lot of spiritual work, you can start to access this. You start to not dwell on the ego, and you don't put people as high than you. You know that we are all equal. So these are very, very specific learning techniques that you could learn when you're out in new environments. And that is a lot of time why people struggle with change and they struggle with moving forward in their life. Their egos are comfortable with whatever they're doing. Their minds become identified with a certain character. We become identified with being a certain way. And we're afraid, our minds are afraid of changing and stepping out into unknown territory, whether it be moving out of your home or going into a new state. Our minds are scared because they're thinking, well, I need to go and make new friends. I'm going to leave my family behind. I'm comfortable where I am at work. I'm enjoying my certain living situation. It's easy, it's familiar. Even though you're hating it, even though you're absolutely hating it, it is familiar, and your mind is always trying to look for reasons and excuses for it to keep you in that state and in that comfortable area. And this is key to when you're changing your environment, you're going to step into the unknown, so you'll be able to step into a new character. So that's where change is amazing. A lot of the times, I myself and a lot of my friends I've seen when they're overseas, they said that they can be more expressive, they can step into this new person, they're more confident, they're more happy. It's because they when they're in a new environment, their mind has no reference experience of how they should act and what roles they should play. So you can step into a new character. You can become anyone you want to become. You can become this new person. And I've seen when a lot of people come back home from their trip and they say to me, oh, why when I'm in a cafe, I'm not happy, and I can't really be who I was overseas. I can't be as creative and smart and intelligent. And why can't I be as happy and joyful? Why am I more stifled and scared of the environment? And I myself have observed this as also in myself. And what usually the case is because when we come back home, it's a part of our old self. So it's a part of our old identity. So our mind is saying, now that we're back home, we're back in this old tribe, we're back in the familiar, we have a certain way that we need to react here. We need to act a certain way to keep ourselves safe. Because your mind is looking for feedback just to keep you safe. What role do I need to play? I need to play this role. Because if I be too expressive and loud and I act all confident and charismatic and all childlike, I could get hurt. That could affect me because I'm changing, I'm something new. I don't know how that's going to go about, but I know that if I act this way, if I act this certain way in front of the boss, or if I act this certain way in front of my old friends and family, then I'm going to get the same result, which is going to keep me safe. Even though I'm not stepping into some new power and some new capabilities. So when we are in these new environments, we can be anyone. We can step into amazing capabilities because our mind has no new feedback. So when you're in that new environment, our mind's going, okay, this is new. Obviously, initially it's going to be stifled and it's going to be in that safety net because it doesn't know how this environment's going to respond to them. So initially, when you go somewhere new, you always, for the first maybe day or two, maybe the first couple hours, if you go into a new a friend's house and you haven't been there before and you're meeting new people, your mind is going to scan the environment and it's not going to know how expressive to be as of yet. It's not going to be as confident and as loose, unless obviously you've had a lot of experience and you've put yourself out there multiple times. And your mind has got a lot of proof that we are safe in new environments. We are safe outside of our comfort zone. We are safe when speaking to new people. So when we are speaking to new people, a lot of the time, when we are going out into new environments and we're constantly changing, our minds can start to become comfortable and it can start to rely on core confidence and core capabilities. You can access a relaxed, authentic self and be yourself wherever you are. And when you can access this, you can get better friendships, you can get better jobs, you can go up the ranking system in your workplace. You can make friends with people that are, celebrities or that are really doing well in their life because you're not putting them above you. You're not reacting to them from an ego standpoint. You're putting them on the same level. Because really, as spirits, as spiritual beings, we are all one. We are all one. And so when you see it from that, when you see it from a higher perspective, there is no one better than you. There is no special people, even if you're a police officer or if you're a celebrity or you're a politician or you're some cool movie maker, whatever it may be, we are all one. We are all the same. On the inside, we are all the same. So when you can understand this, you can step into a more relaxed, free-flowing state. Obviously, we're through a lot of experience and going, back and forth. But when you are home, when you're back in your familiar ground, it can be very, familiar. And your mind can definitely easily fall back into its old patterns. It can fall back into its old ways of thinking. It can fall back into its old beliefs and the stories that you used to tell yourself about who you are. So this is key. And through ways of meditation, there's a lot of ways that you can start to become aware of this and start to disidentify from your ego, to disidentify from your mind and from your thoughts. And you can realize that I don't have to be the old way I used to be. I can be something new. And even though I'm in, a familiar ground where my old self would have to act a certain way to keep itself safe, which is totally understandable, you can access this higher consciousness and realizing that you are safe. You are above the animal nature. You are above the level of consciousness where you thought you were scared, that you had to react and you had to contract your energy and not express yourself and be a certain way to fit in so that you could be safe, so that you wouldn't get harmed. The truth is that you are always safe. You are always in a comfortable, safe position, but our minds like to come in, and our mind's a very old system. It's a very biological, tribal nature, and it runs off a lot of animalistic instincts to keep us safe. It has our best interest, but a lot of time, by keeping us safe, it smothers us in a cage and tries to keep us the same way our whole life. It tries to keep us in our comfort zone. It tries to avoid us from making change, stepping into new possibilities of making more money, stepping into a better looking and a more healthier life. A lot of the time our mind will keep us unhealthy. It'll keep us tired, sad, depressed, anxious. It'll keep us feeling fear, jealousy, because it's familiar and it keeps us where we are. It keeps us safe. And really this safety is an illusion, because if you're living this life, if you're living in contraction, if you're living in fear and you're living in these sad emotions because your mind is thinking it's keeping you safe, that is completely false. You are more safe when you're out there expressing yourself. You're actually more safe being out there and being more open and more visible and showing yourself to the world and being someone that you want to be, and not being stifled and not having to try and fit in and conform and fall into an animal, because that's all it is. I see many humans around me, and I've been there myself, and I fall into that. I fall in and out a lot of the times, but most of the time I'm above that, so at least I can be aware of it and make videos like this. I'm at least somewhat aware of myself and others around me. But I see there's many humans that have become like animals. We have become like zombies, and we are no different to our animals or our pets. We do the same thing day in, day out, and we don't think for ourselves. We don't access this spirit within us, this higher consciousness. And when we do access this, we can step into amazing capabilities. The meditation is fantastic for this. Meditation, there's many other ways as well, through experience, through going out into the world. I've seen a lot of natural people that are good at this, and they haven't done, as much meditation. But naturally, they're out there and they're taking action. They're pushing themselves out of the nest. They're constantly not staying within their comfort zone. And I've seen a lot of my cousins and family and friends, some are very natural at this, and they are able to be in new areas and be expressive and be very relaxed and grounded and be able to speak and be authentic and basically assume that a new person that they're speaking to is their friend. That the police officer they're speaking to is just a human. That their boss that they're speaking to is just a human. And we're all on the same level. That this celebrity that they're speaking to, even though they might be excited, they might enjoy his time, they're not there like, oh, can I have your autograph, please? Oh my God, can I have a photo? It's more of, hey brother, how are you? Like, it's okay, we're friends. I don't have to put you on this pedestal just because you're on TV or you have all these awards. I don't have to kiss your feet. And you'll notice a lot of the time it'll help you so much to making higher status friends and people that are more successful. It'll help you in your work as well, as I was saying, because people of that status, whether you're a boss, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a celebrity, they want people to treat them normal. They don't want everyone to kiss their feet. They're not going to be friends with you. They want people to be on their level and be able to relate and have fun and be on the same level. They want to relate to someone. So they love that. So it's a perfect little trick to making high status friends or becoming good friends with your boss. And then he helps you up the chain. You can make friends with a lot of ways through this that can teach you, and it can get you very, very far. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Bit about change, changing your comfort zone and stepping out into the new. Notice, be aware of when you go on holiday and how you feel when you're on holiday compared to when you come back. How you feel when you're at work compared to when you come home. How you act in front of your brother compared to how you act in front of a police officer. You'll notice these changes, and you'll notice your mind and your ego changes its vibration, and it changes the way that we should react. So knowing this and being aware of this is important, and you can step into something new. Sometimes you need a big change in your life. We need change, and I think change is fantastic because change steps you into a new person. If you're always staying where you are, if you're always staying in a familiar territory, it can so easily suck you back in, and it can suck you back into your old habits. It can suck you back into old friendships. It can suck you back into old jobs. It could suck you back into old negative stories that your mind plays on you. So this is huge. And I think that everyone should in their life make small increments of change. I think everyone should slowly move towards a new direction. And it's okay if you're staying in the same country or the same state or the same suburb. But over time, if you're not aware of this, if you're not at a higher consciousness to be able to observe this, you're easily going to get stuck in the same thing for the rest of your life, making small, minute increments. Or what happens a lot of the time is our spirit, if it really wants us to change, our higher self will force a change. And it will give us so much depression, it will give us so much anxious thoughts, so much stress, panic attacks. It'll make us fucking hate every single day until finally that egg cracks. And we go, fuck, enough's enough. And I need change. So if you want to live your whole life in misery and maybe not aware of this, or if you maybe are aware of this and you are noticing your pain is, you have this constant buzz of pain and stress and anxious and depressed, then something probably needs to change. And if you're not at a level where you can consciously make that change, which is very hard because we love the familiar, we don't want to change. Our minds don't want to change. But when you connect with your spirit, it helps. When you do meditation, you can start to tap into something special, and you know that you are always safe. And you see this as a game. You want to explore. If I was playing a video game and I had this little area I only uncovered, the area that I started the game in, I'm always going to want to explore the game. I'm going to want to uncover the clouds and uncover all the areas that I haven't seen yet. And I want to step into new territories. I don't want to just stay in the same area. So tapping into that, knowing that this is a game. You are playing a game right now. Being aware of your character that you're playing. Stepping away from your character and allowing yourself to see the truth. You are more than this. You are the character behind the character. You are the player, and you can take control of this game, and you can step into beautiful areas, and you're always safe no matter what. No matter what. Have a great day.